I think this is a massive problem, gentlemen. I think that the inability for basic scheme to be ran, articulated, and communicated is really, really bad. Again, the average fan, the average player these days and coach thinks that Mike means middle, and it doesn't. It means most dangerous. Like, I don't know how you get the middle of 11, number one. And number two, like anywhere there's numbers in relation to skill players, there's an opportunity for them to take advantage of a blitz and an overload. So as an ex-defensive player, I didn't really understand this the way I should have. Yeah. But when I got moved to offense, my knowledge of defense allowed me to understand what they were doing, but then the ability to be taught by the great Bill Callahan and Mike Mazer and so many other great coaches, you know, how to package things together and move quickly. So when you hear a play call, I'm looking for 2 or 3 words, but then everything happens for me at the line of scrimmage. So as the center of the guard, walk up. What's the front? Okay, we're an under. The minute I see under, I'm looking back the other way. Is it stacked? Because right now we're separated, like we're an 11 3x1 tight end iso left 3x1 bunch nasty, which means it's a nasty split really close to the tackle's ass. So bunching here, line, tight end. So now we've got a gator formation, like pushing it this way to the field. But the tight end is really the point of contact. So we got a passing strength and a running strength. Well, they line up the under front, the 3 technique to the passing strength, but they stack a linebacker or a nickel over the tight end and then stack him with a safety. So that's called strong safety force. So now when the safety forces and stacks the Sam linebacker, well, all of a sudden the most dangerous second level defender is the Sam, even though he's on the line of scrimmage. I want my left tackle on him. So we're going to be in a 3-man lead call out to the Sam to take the nose, 5 and the Sam. The 3 and the 5 are going to be rock one-on-one. The squeeze gap's the A gap. The dual reads the 2 linebackers here in relation to how it's set up. Now, I can visualize all that and articulate it pretty quick because I've been doing this forever, but I also don't think it's that difficult. So, in my opinion—
Man, you a bad boy. I'm sorry, you a bad boy. For what you just did, I know that's like—
Well, like, this is what I do, dog.
That was some shit right there, though. Yeah, but go ahead.
I'm zero fuck around with this. I am a Jedi warrior when it comes to the board work, dog. I'll put the perfect challenge to anybody and anyone, anywhere, anytime. So, like, if you can't figure out a way to articulate this and put it in your head and then walk up to the field, and this is the best part. We have all that pre-snap, and I walk up to the line of scrimmage, we make all those calls, and then they move. And they stem to an overfront and drop the Sam back and push out. And when they drop the Sam back, the safety rotates from force to cover too high. And now instead of a man look with the 2 corners over here, all of a sudden the entire rotation of the secondary rotates back. The corners back off the 3x1 nasty. The Will linebacker that was in the box with the mic that was being dual readed, now he pushes out and walks outside the tackle box. So now the Sam and the mic are in the box. Well, this just all happened to counter our call that was initial at the line of scrimmage, right? So we walk up, we make our calls. When we make our calls, they adjust and push out to an overfront, or what it's called stemming. So you stem to an overfront, drop the Sam back, rotate the coverage, push the Will out, make sure that, you know, everybody's everywhere. You have more of a shell look, like a Vic Fangio shell behind it, where they're playing quarters coverage, cover 4, to make sure everything's rallied in front of them and tackled. Well, then your mic point changes too. So we got to go find the Will or whoever's stacked. Then maybe running the ball is a better idea. So are we going to run up and go easy, 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 easy? Hey, Sally, 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 or, you know, Gator right would be croc, 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 croc. Like, these are all things that are happening within a 10-second span, and you've got to be able to process the information, articulate it, and communicate it to your guys quickly. And if you can't do that and you can't teach it on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I don't know how you're supposed to do it on Sunday. Like, it's already hard enough.
So here's the mic ID for everybody out there. That's the mic, all right? Now, that's a traditional mic call. This is the ID that we would classify if it was a rip protection. This running back would have that mic backer to the Will. If it was a 4-man protection, that meaning we have 1, 2,
3,
4.
And then
that means
the backside B gap is your squeeze gap. Yep.
The Sam we can pick up with those 4 because we have a 3 technique to that side. That's a whole other story. Now, the back release to the 3x1 side, we're going to have a hot by somebody. The ID may be bumped out now, Matt, from there to there, maybe.
And then, like what Coach can elaborate on here too is when this guy flares. All right, let's talk about who potentially has him. Right, the Sam linebacker. If he's doing this, is what Coach is drawing up here. We're in a 4-man. He calls it a rip. I call it a Roger. So again, terminology changes everywhere. Scheme rarely does. We're in a 4-man rip Roger. The left tackle is rock one-on-one on the 5 technique. We're dual reading 2 linebackers. They're running a pirate stunt. So they pinch the 5, they pinch the 3, they roll the 1, and all this. Then they replace the will to the Mike. The Mike rolls and pinches. So everybody that's blitzing is now being replaced also at the second level. But I love what Coach did here. You can tell that he's in the whole ball coach, dog, because right when he throws this hot route into the flat, the Sam linebacker, when he blitzes here, okay, because you've got 2 receivers to that side, right? Is that 2x2, Coach?
3x1.
3x1, so even better. So you got 3 receivers to that side. When he flares this, or they run gator, like, because this is a gator toss motion or a flare route. I don't really give a shit how he gets the ball.
Right.
When he does this, the blitzer has to either continue the blitz or he has to do what's called pitch peel. So right when he sees the ball get thrown, when it crosses his face, now he has to commit to the ball carrier and catching the football rather than rushing the passer. So if you do this correctly and you set it up and you have like 4 or 5 different plays out of this formation, well, think about it. Like when you have 3x1 nasty gator right and the tight end's ISO left, we can run gator right, which is a pitch and a pull and hit in the alley. We can run this play where it's a flare pass in the same motion pattern. We can run, depending on where the tight end is in the 3x1. If it's 11 3x1 and he's the point, he's a clear out player with the routes intersecting behind him. If it's 12 personnel 3x1, we've got a tight end at the point and a tight end in the scissor. So you can run sparrow right, kick all the way back and put him in a fucking scissor formation as a 12 personnel tight end all the way back to the other defensive end. You have a cutback lane. Then you can run bootleg off of that and put him in the scissor formation where he goes to fake cut and he's in the flat for the cutback or for the ball. So, bro, there's so many different things you can get out of this, and you put the defensive players in a real predicament because they are being reactive rather than proactive, and I'd rather everybody be proactive on top of being reactive, if all that makes sense. Not to talk too much.
Nah, that shit is perfect, man. This is my favorite part of what we do on the show, like really going to the whiteboard, breaking shit down. I was always a film room guy, you know what I'm saying? So I love when you fucking break the whole shit down, man. It's beautiful.
It's the best.
And Matt, and by the way, defenses can read and react, where offenses have to know every fucking thing that's going to happen on defense right there. And if, God forbid, they trigger that corner to the flat and they roll the strong over the top just to fuck with the QB. So he thinks he has the flat right now on the swing, and the corner triggers and blows it up because the safety robbed over the top. Like, there's so many other things. That's what young quarterbacks are struggling to recognize, like Lombardi just said.
Well, look, if you're not preparing for everything, you're not preparing for anything. So, like, just because it doesn't happen on film doesn't mean they can't do it. So I love the whole, like, I'm overloaded with information. You're not overloaded with information. Hold on. That's not true. You're overloaded with how to process all of it and how to categorize all of it. Because if it was organized information, it would just be organized. So that's kind of my point. Everything in my program is broken down. Personnel, first of all, what personnel is it? Where's the 3 technique? Those are the 2 most important things for an identification immediately. After that, how many true linebackers are on the field? If there's 4, it's an odd look where you have a Jack, Sam, Mike, and Will. A Jack is a hybrid jack of all trades defensive end linebacker like a Von Miller, okay? Right. He's a guy who can play the Sam first and second and then put his hand on the ground in NASCAR on 3rd down. If all the other fronts, though, if you've got, with the exception of odd, where you got a 0 and 2 4s, and it's a wall defense where you're trying to build a wall, have them run the V on the outside linebackers, everything else is over, under, even. Those are all penetration fronts. So once I figure out how many linebackers on the field and what kind of front we're in, then I can determine, when we walk to the line of scrimmage, the best play call for the situation. Personally, I would like to be an offensive coordinator and a play caller that has the ability to tell my quarterback, I don't know what we're running.
Let's wait and see how they line up and determine from there. Right.
Here's what I'd like to run. But, like, when you walk up to the line of scrimmage, Peyton, when you walk up to the line of scrimmage, Tom or whoever, I need you to identify the weaknesses and run into a small box. You know what I'm saying? Throw it into man coverage when they roll the safety down. Have the ability to ease everything down and call the double move on the stutter go when they roll cover one. You know, take advantage of the opportunities presented by the defense when the opportunities are presented. Don't look at it on the tablet afterwards and go, damn it, we had them. Well, bro, that conversation needs to be happening on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, maybe in full pads, like Lombardi just said, which I dig. So, like, the ability to identify it during the week and then take advantage of it on Sunday. Everybody during the week thinks that their plan is going to kick ass, right? And most of them are pretty good. These are good coaches for the majority. And that's all well and good. But when you get on the field on Sunday, if the player is just agreeing with you during the week and he doesn't really know, you're going to find out Sunday quick. And if he knows already, the teaching moment during the week won't be the same. It'll be like the player almost teaching the coach. Like, yeah, coach, I know that. You know that we can also do this, right? Like, that's one thing with players these days, and I'm sure Coach JB can relate to this being, you know, a quarterback guy, because that's a different kind of communication. It's a different relationship. You know, the O-line coach has 5 guys plus 8 to get right. The D-line coach has a rotation, yada, yada. The quarterback has 3 guys. They're all super close. And the quarterback coach has got to do everything humanly possible to make sure they have a good relationship. What in the fuck was that?
Ethan, the other day when me and you were on the show, I think Matt, Ethan was trying to be funny. He made a thumbnail about me not taking my Homer glasses off. So I told Ethan, I said, that was funny. I'm not going to be mad at you, but understand I never forget. So I will get your ass back at some point, whether it's next year, next month, or next week.